CNN's George Howell is back with me now outside Plaza Towers Elementary School. George, I mean, I'm a father of 4 children. I can't even imagine what these families are going through, not knowing what has happened to their kids at this school. Do you have any more on any kind of account of how many may be being brought out alive?
Piers, you know, the latest number that we have, 7 children that were in that school. That's the latest number that we have of the 37 killed in this area. But I do want to go ahead and bring in some people who have another side of the story, a good story. Rosa Bautista, Norma Bautista, and Maria Rodriguez. And their children were in the school when this happened. I would imagine as parents, you are incredibly thankful to have your children right here, right now.
Yes, I thank God that I got there in time to pick up my nieces, my nephews, my son, because I don't know what I would have done if he would have been one of, I mean, I can't, I'm speechless. How did this happen? Why did this happen? My son still, how do we explain this to the kids? How are they gonna wake up tomorrow and everything's missing? The school, these houses, their friends. Nobody knows where anybody is. We can't contact anybody. Hopefully, if anybody's listening, you know, we're okay. I'm from Wisconsin. And if anybody's listening, my son and I are okay. My sisters, my nieces and nephews, my brother-in-law, everybody's fine. But there's very many people that are left without houses, their cars, everything's gone. In an instant, everything's gone.
Rosa, I wanted to ask you, I mean, what was it like for you, you know, in those moments after the tornado to come out here and looking for your child?
I was scared. I was stuck at work. I work at Hobby Lobby up the street, and we were hiding out, waiting out the storm. And I was told that the kids couldn't leave without a parent coming to get them. So I was scared that my sisters probably were not able to get my kids, and no communication. So you're frightened for that moment. And finally, somebody from work after the high school, which is on the other side of the school, to pick up my daughter and my. Bad. It's bad. It's bad.
Norma, I know that your son wanted to talk to us. Do you mind if we ask him a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Julio, I mean, what was it like to be in that building at the time?
It was scary, and a lot of my friends were still there when I left.
What did your teachers tell you to do? You showed me a moment ago. This?
Go ahead and show them what you did at school.
You ducked and you covered your head with your hands, right. And then all of my friends were hot and sweaty because we were all bunched up.
And you did that through the whole storm?
Yeah.
Until I picked them up, they were all the children were down. And as soon as I walked through the building, I mean, I was a little hysterical. I was running through the building barefoot and just screaming their names, and each one of my kids stood up and they came with me.
Maria, what's going through your mind?
You know, I heard that the storm was coming towards us. I heard that it was coming toward the school. I just thought about my daughter. I thought, you know, I have nieces and nephews in there. I had to get them out. And I saw it from over the houses that it was coming. It was about to touch down. I'm like, I got to get them out. And, you know, I'm glad that we did get it, because look what's left. There isn't much left. We went through the office, and now there's so many cars just inside the office. It's like, well, what happened? I mean, just a couple hours, it was, the kids were there and teachers, and, you know, there was so many kids still there when I picked up my daughter, and the teachers were there, and there's so many people that were still in the building when I left, you know, and it's just horrible to think how many kids are, it's just horrible to think, you know, what's left.
You know of many others that didn't make it out, I mean, at this point?
I know one.
I know you're worried about your teacher right now.
He's worried, but we don't know for certain.
One of my friend's mom, they were looking around for his son that was in 3rd grade. There's a lot of people
wandering through the streets and just asking, do you have a child in this grade? Do you know anything that's going on? And we're helping out as much as we can, because we've got kids in all different grades, but we can only help so much because we took our kids out before the storm hit.
Thank you. And I didn't mean to cut you off. I don't want to put any names out there at this point until we know those, those people. But we really appreciate you guys talking to us, taking time. And I mean, as parents, I can't imagine what's going through your mind right now. Thank you so much for taking time with us, Piers. You know, this is going to continue for through the night. We do know that parents are staging at Southwest 19th Street and Eagle. That's where parents are staging who are looking for their children. As you heard these parents say, just across from us here, that's what's happening. That parents are just, trying to find their children. Relatives are trying to find people who were in that building. We're staying on top of it, trying to get the latest from officials, but this will continue for some time.
George, thank you very much indeed. Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin wasted no time declaring a state of emergency and activating the National Guard. On the phone with me now is Oklahoma Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb. Lieutenant Governor, thank you very much for joining me. This is a truly awful scene, and we still don't know the scale of the number of fatalities or indeed the number of injured. What is the latest that you're hearing?
Piers, it's just absolutely horrific. Thanks for getting the word out and sharing the news of what's occurring in Oklahoma. 51 deaths confirmed at this time. It's unfortunate that that number is going to rise with the enormity of this tornado, the severity of this tornado. That number will increase. Of that 51, 7 are children that we know at this point, and the search and rescue continues. We've got probably 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes at the most of daylight left. Lights have been brought in, generators have been brought in. The search and rescue will continue throughout the evening. And of course, the enormity is quite large in the city of Moore, parts of Oklahoma City. Moore is just a suburb of Oklahoma City. It's all one metropolitan area. The search and rescue appears is going all throughout the metropolitan area that's been affected, but a real concentrated effort, of course, at that elementary school that was just flattened and the walls pancaked. Still looking for, at least the last report I heard, roughly 24 students, elementary students that were located in that elementary school.
Absolutely appalling. I mean, it is just a heartbreaking situation. And as you say, the lights coming in, the rescue search will obviously be more difficult in the dark. Tell me, Lieutenant Governor, people are comparing this to the massive tornado of '99 and saying this may have been considerably more powerful. What is your belief?
Well, I saw the devastation in 1999, and then just 4 years later, 2003. This is the third time the city of Moore and parts of Oklahoma City have been hit with this path that the tornado took this afternoon, the third time since 1999. I think this tornado, when it's all said and done, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think this tornado will be greater devastation than the previous 2 tornadoes combined once we do the final numbers as far as loss of life, injury, and property damage.
It's just heartbreaking and shocking, and our thoughts go out to all those poor families, many of whom still have no idea if their children are alive or dead in the rubble of that school, and we can only just hope and pray for them tonight. Lieutenant Governor, thank you very much for joining me.
Piers, thank you.
Just an awful, awful scene. When we come back, more on the massive rescue effort underway and stories of survival in a devastated Oklahoma community, plus a storm chaser who headed into the twister.